Hey, 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 everybody. Welcome to Peaches and Power Bombs. Guess what, everybody? Alora is back with us after a long hiatus. Please give her a welcome back in the comments as you all come in and join the show and say hello. We are so happy to have you back, Alora. How are you
Thank
doing
you.
today?
I am doing good. Thank you. It's good to be back. I kind of missed it. Mina has too. She's sitting behind me.
She's waiting for her opening.
Yeah, she's waiting for that right time. Just like the other day when we were talking about setting up a show, um, she thought I was going live, and I'm like, no, next week. And she, meow, next week, meow. She almost made me do one right there, but I had to say no. We're gonna wait. You know how kids are.
Yep, bless her heart. She was ready to go.
Hmm.
And
Yep.
Christine, right on time, is here.
Good to see you. You've been doing all right as well.
And let's go ahead and take care of the business side of things so we can get into the fun because my goodness, has wrestling been on fire lately?
I know. Well, you know how we got to get started, right?
Oh yes. We have to get those
We
Briscoe
got to have a
brothers.
little bit of help. Yes.
Yes.
Ain't no way, chick. Ain't ready. There ain't no way, man. Ain't ready. Ain't no way y'all could possibly be ready. You can say you're ready as many times as you want. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Y'all boys ain't ready. There's no way, man. Talking about they anxious. You hear him, chick? Hey, somebody losing sleep. They losing sleep, baby. Man, I've been getting the best sleep of my life. I've been snoring, baby. I've been snoring. Dreaming about this ass.
For the past couple days, Mark Briscoe has been posting some old family videos of Jay with the family and everything and the kids, and
Oh,
it's made me smile but kind of cry at the same time, and I've been like,
yeah.
oh, I miss him so much, and I'm
I
sure
know.
all of them do too. So oh, make sure you guys do the things like share, subscribe the podcast, tell your friends about Peaches and Power Bombs. We love hanging out with you guys and talking wrestling. And the more followers and the more likes that we get, the better and the bigger and better interviews that we can bring to you guys and the better content. So make sure you do that. And our good friend Julian is here, and he's saying good evening.
Good to
All
see him
right.
too.
All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into this. We're going to kind of go at show by show. Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and AEW. There's so much more we could talk about. NXT and TNA collaborations with Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry. Ethan Page showing up on NXT as well. But we just don't have the time to go into everything that's been going on in wrestling for the past several weeks to a month. So bear with us. We're just kind of hitting the highlights tonight. So, but while you were on hiatus, Alora, the Wyatt Six group made their debut, and it was kind of funny. I made the joke. They actually attacked more people than just Chad Gable, although that's the only person they've been emphasized on. And but they also like attacked like Gunther and Carmelo Hayes and other people, and they acted like they didn't die and they were just walking around like nothing happened to them. But I guess they were just probably props in that video. But it was funny. How did you think of their debut?
Oh my God. I loved it. I loved it. Oh my gosh. It was very powerful, very captivating. Um, Nick, let's just call it what it is. Nikki Cross killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because basically she was the actual first introduction to the Wyatt Six, and she nailed it.
Yes, she looked spooky as heck.
Yes, but everybody did really well, especially Bo Dallas as Uncle Howdy. I really loved how they focused on him last, and he kind of had that grand entrance type of thing. yeah, I loved everything about it. Um, I'm loving the fact they're giving us just a little bit and keep us hanging on. I love it, uh, and there's so many positives with this, and I love the fact that Chad Gable is in the center of it right now because this is a hot story, and obviously they had been targeting Gable for a while because of
Mhm.
the you didn't even say thank you, and like nobody recognized that until after the fact, including
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that they're going with Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. Somebody, these the guys that could use this type of boost. Chad Gable's been on fire for the last like few months, and
Yes.
so yeah, I love it. I love every bit of it. With the tapes, that was good. Eric Rowan was amazing last night, which you
I
know,
haven't seen his yet, but
yes, it was so good. I highly, highly encourage you to check it out. It was very good. Obviously, it came straight from the heart. There's no way to fake it, and yeah, it was very, very, very good, and yeah, I just love everything about White Six. Brave would be very proud, and I'm sure he is.
yes, he absolutely is, and I like, I like kind of how they're keeping it real, but also kinda tying in the realness with the spookiness and letting that realness kinda be the reason why that they are doing everything,
Blurring the
and
lines.
yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. You know, a lot of people are might be confused on why is it Chad Gable that that is their first kind of focus, their victim, as you would say. But if you look back at the past couple months and his the final nail in the coffin with Alpha Academy, you know, there he had family problems, right?
Right,
So they're kinda tying that in targeting someone who isn't who turned their back on their family, so
right.
tying all of that into one, I think it makes complete sense.
Yeah, for sure. And they were kind of teasing us with the whole Jay Uso thing too. But Jay Uso's got so many things going on right now, and we'll talk about that in a little while. But so yeah, I'm with you there. The fact that Chad Gable turned heel pretty much and turned his back on Otis and Maxine. You know, I think yeah, I like the fact that it's like for them they lost their sense of self, they lost their family, and then they see people like Chad Gable just throwing it away, and
Yes.
they want to stand up for that. So I love the idea behind that. So that's really good because there's no way the Wyatt Six is going to get booed. Not right now.
Yeah,
No way.
and I was about to bring that up. Usually, like a spooky character, a spooky faction, when they're first introduced, it's in a heel perspective, right? It
Right.
usually takes time for them to be quote unquote cheered. But because it's tied to Bray Wyatt and everybody knows the story of Bray Wyatt and what happened to him, obviously
Mhm.
that's not going to be booed right now. So
No.
them targeting heels for being anti-family almost is a nice touch.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if they let's say that if Vince was still in charge, he would have probably forced the issue and it would have been bad.
Yeah.
That's kind of my guess. But
Mhm.
yeah, I love the way that they're turning like this pain, this tragedy into something that is nothing short of a masterpiece.
Mhm. Yep. And let's also talk I know you kinda hinted at it a while ago. I've seen clips of it. I apologize, guys. Where I'm at on Monday Night Raw is kinda where Sheamus and Bronson Reed just had a match. So that's how early on into the show I'm currently at, so I've only seen clips of anything later than that. So I saw the clip of Chad Gable and kind of recruiting the Creed brothers in with him to attack Bo Dallas in the middle of the ring, and they're standing tall over him, but Bo Dallas almost looks like it unfazed him, and he's just laying there laughing. Did anything else happen after that, or is that kind of how that segment ended?
No, well, he was laughing and doing the yeah, 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 So nice tributes to Bray and Luke Harper during that as well. And then after as they were standing tall, the Wyatt Six did eventually show up, and
Okay.
nobody was attacked. They just got out of the ring and they all joined together in the ring, and it was like pretty cool.
I'm sure it was, and I can't wait to see it. Sorry, guys. I tried my best to make it through the whole show, and I just didn't quite make it. So,
We got some comments here. We got Ray All Day, your co-host on the tailgate party.
tomorrow afternoon, right here, Peaches and Power Bombs, the Real Wrestling Community, 4:15 Eastern.
Yes, yes. And he also says Nia Jax is annoying. And Sugar Shane is with us. It's good to see you. Good to see you. I sent Sugar Shane a message probably like maybe 3 weeks ago. I finally watched the Legends of Mid South Wrestling DVD.
Mhm.
During the time when I was out of commission with Wi-Fi, we we figured out how to get the DVDs to play on the Xbox One, and that was like one of the first things I watched.
Uh-oh, we lost your audio.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry, I think I accidentally touched the mouse pad on my laptop and accidentally muted. Sorry. But yeah, very, very good DVD. Legends of Mid South, learned a lot. Always the one thing I like, and I just want to say this before we move on. Like I already know
Uh-oh, we lost you again.
it's this stupid computer wants me to restart, and I'm like, anyways, Hacksaw Jim Duggan is already a legend, but in Mid South he was a beast. Like
Right.
what? I didn't realize that.
Yes. And if you are a fan of old school wrestling, you might want to check out the page in the next couple weeks. We won't say any more than that, but just throwing that out there. We might have an interesting guest for the show. So keep your eyes open. All right. So to me, this has probably been one of the hottest storylines that WWE has been putting on in the past several months. Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Seth Rollins. I know you kind of posted on the Money in the Bank briefcase and how all that went. If you want to reiterate and go on a rant, and then I'll kind of give you a counterpoint to it, and we'll go on with it. So go ahead.
Yeah, I hated it. I hated the fact. My thing was, I feel like a feud with this much turmoil and personal heat, whatnot. I felt like the Money in the Bank briefcase really didn't need to be added to it. Um, that's just my opinion. I just felt like it was a waste. I would have felt better if Andrade won or something, if that was the case. But yeah, I just felt like I just really felt like that the Money in the Bank didn't really need to be involved, but seeing that Rollins is in it, and at first I was just sitting there like, why are we even doing this 3-way? But I think a lot of us forgot back in November, Rollins had a lot of not very nice things to say about Punk.
Mm-hmm.
So so I guess I could see why, but at the same time, it was just like,
Well, and CM Punk at Money in the Bank didn't just screw over Drew McIntyre. He kind of screwed over Rollins
Rollins
as
too.
well. So
Yeah,
there's that aspect of it.
I
Realistically,
just feel like we've been focused on Drew and Punk for so long, and then they just interject Rollins and, oh hey, you forgot about this. But at the same time, it's just like, okay, well Rollins just came back from injury. There's that, and then I was like, well, there's really nothing for Rollins to do right now unless he had the title or whatever. But
Yes, I think realistically, if you look at it, CM Punk, I don't think has actually been cleared yet from. Okay, so this would be his first match, like back from injury completely. So I think adding Rollins to the mix is probably due to the fact that they're trying to keep CM Punk from re-injuring himself
oh yeah, for sure.
again.
Yeah,
So there's that aspect to it. And Rollins already has that natural heat with CM Punk. So
yeah,
he was if you're going to add somebody to this feud, then Seth Rollins is the best choice. I do have to admit that it does kind of bring down the temperature just a little bit, and you kind of make you go, eh. I want to see Punk and Drew one on one. But, that might be something that happens, later on. It doesn't have to be the end of the story, so
right.
to speak. And we can finally get that Drew and Punk match maybe at a later date. I wish it was at SummerSlam, but things happen. They're
Yeah,
probably trying to keep Punk from getting hurt again. So, with that said, I say I understand it. Now the Money in the Bank. I liked it, and number one, I like CM Punk, and there's not much he can do to make me not like him. Number two, think about it. Gunther is about to win the World Heavyweight Championship from Priest.
oh yeah.
How 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 long is he going to keep that? A really long time, in my opinion. You have
Yeah, if his Intercontinental title run had anything says anything, yeah, for sure.
Then we have Cody Rhodes. He's not losing his title anytime soon either. We have big plans for our world champions. The Money in the Bank contract would get in the way of that and probably mess it up. So they were probably just using it in their already hot storyline with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre and getting more fuel to the fire with those things going. And then on the other hand, the girls are usually the ones who cash in right away. Now we get to see what that looks like when one of the girls gets to hold on to it for a long period of time. Let them be the the one that teases it for several months on end. So,
Hmm.
you know, I was fine with it. I was fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I see the point, but to me, I just felt like that. Drew already know Punk is after him like white on rice. That was my thing. My thing was like, okay, is Drew just so obsessed with the title and Punk that he just can't think clearly?
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, if like you had like an Andrade or a Jey Uso when they would almost have to lose
Yeah.
their cash in. So would you want to hurt Jey Uso or Andrade with having to lose their cash in? And I'm not saying that they would have been the one to cash in that night, but say a later time against Gunther or Cody Rhodes, it wouldn't be the time for them to win the title yet. So would you hurt an upcoming, big star like Andrade or Jey Uso, or let somebody like Drew McIntyre, who's already established, who can just absorb that loss and not be affected by it?
Yeah. I see your point.
Let's see what everybody else has to say. Christine says she's sick of the Punk and McIntyre crap. I love it. I love it. And Julian is saying hello to the to the little Miss Diva Mina.
Yeah, she wanted to be on camera, and I put her on camera, and she acts like I'm torturing her. That's just the name of the game, people.
But regardless, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins will all put on a great show at SummerSlam, and it'll be a great match. I am pretty positive on that. So,
Oh yeah, yeah.
all right. Speaking of our World Heavyweight Championship, we have the champion, Damian Priesty, versus Gunther. I'm really torn. I'm so torn.
I know. It's kind of one of those things like you're just like you already know Gunther's that guy, but
Yes.
but Priesty has been doing a great job too. I'm very, very proud of him, and he's come. Both guys have come a very long way. More so Damian Priest because Gunther had his previous accolades, and really Damian Priest. He just kind of was like on the come up slowly but surely, and I'm so glad that they took the chance on him, and he can consider himself a WWE champion, and
Mm-hmm.
um, and the fact that the Judgment Day is like front and center on Raw as is. So I feel like his title reign wasn't a waste or transitional or
No.
anything like that. I think he did a very good job, and upheld his end of being a good champion. I'm very happy with how he's been presented and booked.
Yes, absolutely. Priest is one of our favorites here on Peaches and Power Bombs, as well as Gunther. And um, I'm torn. I know that Gunther's gonna has an 99.9% he's gonna win, right? And but Priesty, he's been so good. I know a lot of people probably don't think he has been. Um, he's not dynamic, I guess. He just kind of comes out there, just says his piece, and just kind of walks away. He doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have a boisterous presence or anything, but he really doesn't need it. In my opinion, I think the way he carries himself says enough.
Yeah, I agree. And as y'all can tell, Mina's had a few things to say too as you were talking.
Ray is saying Adam Cole is still king when he's back. MJF no shot versus Will. Oh, Gunther is annoying. Annoying? Gunther is not annoying. Um, Shane says, I hope Gunther wins so I can see Braun Breaker versus Gunther. I would love to see this match at WrestleMania. That would be a lot of fun. Braun
I think
Breaker.
so too. Yeah.
Yep, Braun Breaker is doing a really great job. I thought that Braun Breaker was going to win the Intercontinental Championship at Money in the Bank. I was almost confident in that, and they have other plans, I guess. Yeah, a lot of things on Money in the Bank that I thought was going to happen didn't.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Gunther and Priest is going to be great.
Oh yeah. And that's their one of their main events too at SummerSlam. I think that just I think that's amazing.
Yep.
It's a testament for the both of them, really.
Yes. Yep.
Yes, Mina. Yes.
she's telling us that Priesty has to win, and we're saying, well, it's going to be Gunther, and she's saying, no, Priesty.
Come here.
All right, so I know people say save the drama for your mama, but we like the drama on Peaches and Power Bombs, and we love talking about this drama with Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, and Dominic Mysterio. My goodness. The way it ended last week was pretty crazy. Liv Morgan and Dom winning their little intergender tag team match that they had, and finally that embrace there at the end, that interesting embrace there at the end. And then who's to make her return but mommy herself, Rhea Ripley, and Dom is falling all over himself trying to get back in the good graces of Rhea Ripley, but she is just not having it. And it looks like it's going to be Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the women's title at SummerSlam, and I can't wait.
Yeah, Rhea made the challenge last night. That's going to be really good. I wouldn't be surprised if Dom actually does turn on Rhea and goes with Liv, but this is of course, everybody's been comparing this to Eddie Guerrero and China. R.I.P. to the both of them, and I love it. I love the fact that they're kind of weaving in little nostalgic moments.
Down to the roses and everything.
Yes.
And down on the knees, going, Mamacita, forgive me. Yes. Oh my goodness.
I just don't need I don't need mommy to go on a date with like some, like, you know how China went out on a date with Mark Henry and she was just like, I'm just here.
I
But
don't think that's going to happen.
I am 100% down for a mommy and Jay Uso thing. Can we have a Waffle House date segment, please? I would be, I would pop for that because he did ask her out on a date to Waffle House last night. One
I
of the
haven't seen
backstage
that
scenes.
yet. I haven't seen that yet. Okay.
And besides main event Jey Uso, he would be considered an upgrade. Yes, we all know all of these people are married in real life, but let's have fun. I am
Yes.
down with Jey Uso and mommy.
Well, so are all the actors on TV, but they're still, portraying characters of being
Right.
in relationships with other people. So everybody is saying hello to Mina, or
Yeah.
Mina Mania over here with Shane.
Oh yeah.
Give Dom a break. He did nothing wrong. Well,
Ah!
you know what? He has a point there because Liv Morgan has been hunting him down like a dog, so he does have a point there. Dom Dom was trying to stay in his lane and Liv Morgan was coming after him, so. Okay. Oh man, it's fun. It is so much fun. I can't wait to see where this all leads. Anything can happen in this scenario. We could have Dom Dom stay firmly with Rhea and um, prove his love and loyalty to her, and by costing Liv the title, or you can have him totally turning against Rhea and joining with Liv. So anything can happen. All
Yep.
right.
Mina
That is
is agreeing with us.
that is Monday Night Raw. Here we go to SmackDown. Now I know a little bit more on the up and ups with this because I did watch last week's show. We're just kind of lumping in all of the bloodline stuff together because it's just easier to do it that way. It looks like it'll be Solo Sikoa versus Cody at SummerSlam. I know I've seen a lot of criticism for this. Oh, this main event doesn't really get me all that excited for SummerSlam, whatever. But it fits right in with the narrative of what has been going on lately. Solo Sikoa is pretty much uh, naming himself, knighting himself, I guess, as the tribal chief, as the head of the table. So if he's doing that, why wouldn't he be going after the WWE Universal Champion Cody Rhodes, the one person who is able to dethrone Roman Reigns? It makes 100% sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, because Roman pretty much set Solo up a few months back, saying, you're next in line to be the tribal chief. And of course, when Roman loses at WrestleMania, and we haven't seen him since,
Mm-hmm.
Solo's taking matters into his own hands. It's like, okay, I got this. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna gather up my own bloodline,
Yeah.
and which they're all kind of, well, the the Tongans aren't really directly related, but Jacob Fatu is definitely related to him.
Yes.
So they're all they kind of are mixed in whatnot, and Solo was just like, I'm gonna get my own bloodline. We're gonna dominate, and ain't nothing gonna stop us. And um, I was surprised at first when Solo was the one that pinned Cody at Money in the Bank, but I was expecting, maybe Brandy to or KO to take the pin, but the fact that Solo was able to pin Cody, something Roman couldn't do this time around,
Mm-hmm.
um, that just gives Solo the ego boost and 100% the chance to challenge Cody. And
Yes.
so we're definitely going to see a Roman Reigns return. I keep reading the SummerSlam, but people are like, well, maybe it's before SummerSlam. It's probably going to be at SummerSlam as much as I want it to be before SummerSlam. Because y'all know me, I miss my tribal chief.
Yes. Well, SummerSlam is only a few weeks away. So let me see. When is it?
It is August. Yeah, look, please. It's early August, I think.
August 3rd.
Yeah, I just thought it was early.
So it's not too far, but have you noticed that each week goes by, we get louder and louder? We want Roman chants.
Do you blame them?
No, I don't. But let me ask you a question. As someone who has been a Roman fan through it all, the boos, the indifferences, the go away heat, the please we don't like you, and then just full-fledged heel stuff, and that gets even more. How do you feel about people, finally cheering and wanting Roman?
Hold on.
You there, sitting at home. Acknowledge me.
More that you would say something like this.
Fickle. They're fickle.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Like,
kidding. I'm kidding. They built it up to do this, but it's fun.
I told y'all, sir. Even in my
Okay, I'm sorry. My mom is calling me. I gotta.
okay. Even in my blogging days, I kept saying the heel Roman Reigns is the way to go, blah 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 blah. And now that we're seeing it and everybody loves it, it's like I said it. I've been said it. I've been said it since like 2012, 13. So it's just to see that going, just to see that come to, you know, I won't say full circle, but seeing how everything is transcended and what Roman has accomplished, it's like y'all knew this. Y'all didn't want to. Y'all didn't want to admit it, but y'all knew this and y'all love it. See? See?
I never hated Roman Reigns, but I felt a little indifferent to him just because that initial babyface run just didn't really speak to me. I
Yeah.
didn't hate him, but I was just like, eh. It just seemed like he wasn't being himself. And
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Because basically that was just like Vince and them pushing against the narrative, and poor Roman was just caught in the caught in the trenches with it. And yeah, yeah, it was definitely, they were going against the grain, and poor Roman had to suffer the consequences for all that. But I think Roman flourished through it all, because even like I met him like 3 times, 2 3 times, and that was like in the midst of all that. But the fact that he just remained graceful and humble, very
mhm,
appreciative, that just says a lot about him. As that's character. He has
yes.
he has quite good great character.
Oh,
And
yes, yes.
so um you know and he handled everything with grace. And he could have gave up, because some people would probably gave up and was just like, screw this, I can't deal with it. Like, you've seen people in the past. One person that comes to mind is Muhammad Hussein. I can't remember his name. It was something like that. You know, they put him in the trenches, and with 9/11 and the war and everything. And that just, some people just can't handle that kind of stuff. But Roman was able to handle it with grace. And I know that's two different entities, but
Well, and
the heat was still the same. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, and just think too, like, we also had, like, the fans, like, totally turning a 180 on, like, Ronda Rousey, and she couldn't handle it either.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's more of a yeah, more modern example. And yeah, she couldn't handle that either. It's not for everybody. And Roman handled it and he was rewarded, and that just makes my little Samoan fangirl heart happy.
Yes, we have Rick Stevens who is with us. I was at a show with him a couple weeks ago.
Okay,
So
good to
hello,
see you.
hello. Um, I heard where Roman won't be back for SummerSlam, there is some kind of conflict. I guess we'll just have to see. Um, I either think it's going to be SummerSlam or it's going to be after. His father did just pass away, so that might have added a little bit more conflict to the timeline. So, but the longer kind of that he stays away, I mean, to a certain extent, the louder those chants are going to get. So it can only work in their favor.
Oh yeah, Sugar Shane. As much as people want to see Roman Reigns, I want to see the game plan Paul Heyman has. Oh yeah, you
Yes,
already know.
it's going to be great.
Oh, I can't wait. This is gonna be amazing. Y'all already know. Hold on. We might still have it. Give me just a second, because I'm thinking long term, and I'll see if we have it. We might not.
Which one are you looking for?
I got it.
Okay.
We all know the end game here, people.
War games!
Yes.
I am
Yes.
thinking about that.
This thought just popped into my head. We do have a certain pay-per-view that'll be in Atlanta. I won't get to go to this, but and it's called Bad Blood. What if they wait for Roman to make his appearance until then? That would be very fitting.
Ooh.
I know it's kind of long, but
yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Whew. Maybe I'll finally get that blood curdling scream out that I was denied in South Carolina because we were late.
bless your heart.
Stupid GPS. I actually saw a video on TikTok that it is actually a horrible interchange in, like, yeah, it was something about that. It's a horrible interchange. They're going to direct you on the wrong interstate, and you might as well just add more time to your commute. And I was like, okay, I wasn't insane, but yeah, horrible memories.
Yeah, we're not going to Bad Blood, but we will be going to the SmackDown right afterwards because that's in Greenville, South Carolina. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. All right. Let's see,
And
how much time?
Timothy says hello.
We'll talk about Mariah May in just a few minutes.
Yeah, Jamie Hayter's due to come back soon too. Good to see you, Romero. Timothy. Hi guys.
So bad it's good.
Oh, I love it. It's cringe, but it's like, okay.
Yes, I have that on here.
That's next week, isn't it?
Yeah. I guess we're going to find out who the other two members are. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But I also, real quick, before we might not get to the the Gargano and Ciampa and the Tongas. It looks like that they're trying to add more gold to the bloodline, which would make Solo Sikoa look even stronger. I think that's perfectly fine. But I do want to ask you about Jacob Fatu and how you felt about his debut and just how he's been doing since then. He's scary to me. He's scarier than Solo.
Oh yeah, he's a phenomenal talent. I love the fact that they post. He is definitely the backbone, the muscle of this group, and he has that aura. He has the build, the size, and like I said, he's a phenomenal athlete, and I love the way that they're presenting him, and I definitely would not want to cross him in a dark alley. That's for sure, because he looks like he's angry at the world, something.
Yes,
I don't
and
want to get in his way.
um I think he's had trouble breaking laws before, so there's that too. Like he's a scary dude, but
Yeah,
you know, he looks great. I'm excited. I'm
yeah,
excited.
me too.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the only thing missing from this so far, and I guess we have a couple weeks before we get to it, is I just want a back and forth smack talk fest between these two because both of them are so good at running their mouth, and I feel deprived of them running their mouth at each other in the same room.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. They're probably going to wait for that go home show, and then they're going to knock it out of the park. I really I really hope that LA Knight gets it. I feel like he's long overdue. It's his time.
Yes.
He's still massively over in
Despite losing a lot and
yeah,
despite missing opportunities and all this other kind of stuff, people still want to see him. Um, my dad pointed this out when we were watching SmackDown this past weekend, and he said, "Man, he kind of carries himself like Stone Cold and The Rock used to." And I was like, "Yeah, because he knows what he has to offer. He doesn't think he's just playing wrestler. He knows that he is. He's not just playing star. He knows he is one." And I
yeah,
think that's the
exactly.
difference.
Yeah, and two um you know, it's he has so much charisma.
Yes.
Like he's one of those that absolutely gets it.
Yeah. Yep. I know people. I've seen people sometimes criticizing his wrestling and everything, calling him basic and all this other kind of stuff. But guys, he's doing some. He's spending his time doing something significantly more important, and that's actually creating a character that'll get over and people will remember.
Exactly.
Because you can do all the happy, flippy, and impressive moves, but people aren't going to remember that as much as your character and the stories that you tell. That's the most important thing.
The fact that LA Knight's in his 40s, I mean, it's
Yeah.
like the new 30, you know.
And he looks great, by the way.
Yeah, he does. It's something about us 80s babies. I can't tell you what it is, but
Well, millennials, late Gen X millennials are probably one of the first generations to not smoke. And we believe in skincare and we still dress like we did when we were 16. So there's
yeah.
that.
Yep.
Okay. So really quick, I don't want to spend too much time on this because we do need to get to AEW, and it's already almost 9. So I'm just going to throw this up real quick. Congratulations to Tiffany Stratton for winning the Money in the Bank contract. That match was probably my favorite Money in the Bank contract of the year.
Yeah.
Ladder match. The women have been just pulling out all the stops on all of these different gimmick matches over the past year. I liked their oh goodness, what was it their what match was it where Io Sky put a garbage can on her head and jumped on people?
It was War Games.
It was War Games, okay. That was awesome. They've been, putting on shows and taking match of the night like over and over and over again. So I thought it was one of the best Money in the Bank matches I've ever seen.
Yeah, oh yeah, and they made they made a fan out of my pastor's 5-year-old daughter.
There you go. See, that's what it's all about. And Chelsea Green, that was the best ladder to table bump that I have ever seen.
Wow,
She
and the
hit
fact
that perfectly.
oh my god, I saw that. That was amazing. And the fact that she held her own press conference afterwards, I was like, that's a trooper right there.
Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was telling Marie before the show. I'll just give a brief on here, but I told her, I said, I did pre-K at my church for the first time last Sunday. And, pre-K, you really don't do a whole lot. Of course you pray and whatnot. And we were just coloring. And she was like, you know what I want to be when I grow up? And I was like, well, what do you want to be? She says, a wrestler. I'm like, God, you're really funny. You are really funny.
And now a 5-year-old is your best friend at church.
Yes. Yeah. And so told her mom, she's a pastor as well. And I was like, yeah, I have a podcast and I've been a fan for almost 30 years. She's like, really? I was like, yeah. So coloring and listening to worship music at church in pre-K class turned into drawing me and her as wrestlers at Money in the Bank, complete with a briefcase, ladders, and stick people as fans, and the little color lights for sparkles and glitter, and oh, it was cute. It was so cute. But I was like, yeah, God, you're really funny.
Timothy, I didn't know that. Apparently, the Wyatt Six appeared on the Pat McAfee show yesterday.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
We'll have to see that clip. And my bestie, Nitra, is here. And
Hey.
just saying that we're praying for DJ, her son, my nephew, and hoping he gets better.
Yes.
He's been on chemo since January, so.
Mm.
All right, so Bailey and Nia Jax for SummerSlam. How excited are you for that match on a scale to 1 to 10?
I'm not as excited about it as Gunther and Priest, but I don't want to take anything away from them, especially Bailey. I feel like Bailey's been put on the back burner since WrestleMania. I don't like that.
No.
But I do hope we get something good out of it, and we now got Tiffy time, Money in the Bank, and so that's going to be looming over their heads too.
Yep. Especially since Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton
that's right. Yep.
Formed a little bit of an alliance. So we kind of saw a crack in that last week on SmackDown as well, where it looked like Tiffy Time wanted to cash in, and Nia Jax was like, "Are you kidding me?" And she goes, "Oh, oops, my bad," and she and they walk off, but. Yeah, she's we've already getting that hint of maybe Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton might a little conflict might happen at some point between the two.
Now, with that being said, do you think there's a chance that Nia Jax will win the championship from Bailey, considering the alliance and the drama with the Money in the Bank?
I think that Nia Jax is going to win the title off of Bailey. They've been setting her up in order to do so for a long period of time now. And I think maybe we're going to have points where it looks like Nia Jax is down in maybe one of her matches or whatever, and Tiffany might be having a conflict on whether or not she's going to cash in or not, but then she decides not to. And maybe at some point she will. I don't know, but I think that they're going to definitely tease it for a while.
Yeah. I mean, there's a story right there, so that's why I was just like, well, that could very, very well might happen in Cleveland.
So we're going to move on to the AEW side of things, and we're going to try to go through this as quickly as possible. I know there's been conflict going on between MJF, Daniel Garcia, and Will Ospreay. MJF turned officially back to his old dastardly ways. He looked like he was kind of flirting with the line a little bit, kind of acting like he did when he was a face with Adam Cole, and then kind of acting like a heel again, going back and forth. But that is completely gone. He is now back to being dastardly old MJF, Mr. Weasel himself. And is it going to be MJF and Ospreay at All In, or are they just still teasing everything?
I have no idea. I'm actually really behind on AEW just from a few things that I've seen. I'm kind of behind, so it could very well be.
I
Osprey
think
needs
that's
a
where
high
they're going.
profile match at All In because it is in the UK. So why not?
I was pleasantly surprised to see that Swerve did retain his title at Forbidden Door, and he did it cleanly too. It was a very, clear 1, 2, 3. There was nothing going on with that. So I'm very happy to see this, and it looks like it's going to be Danielson versus Swerve at All In. That is locked in for sure,
Yeah.
and it's going to be really good. And I know there's other stuff going on with like Hangman Page and other things like that. I'm haven't seen everything from from all of that stuff with AEW and everything. I do know that after Danielson won the match, that Hangman Page stormed off in a frenzy. He
Mhm.
is definitely not finished with Swerve yet, so with how everything is going, I don't know.
Yeah, Hangman Page is a bit obsessed with Swerve, and now that he's AEW champion, um, yeah, he still is definitely still have unfinished business.
And Blood and Guts is next week, and it's going to be Team Elite versus Team AEW. And there's only been two names announced for Team AEW, and that is Swerve Strickland and Mark Briscoe.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see maybe Hangman Page maybe taking one of those spots, and maybe them trying to work together and then it falling apart or something like that?
That could very well be the case too. I could see that happening.
Now we could probably we're just talking out of our, off the top of our head, guys, and I know there were some promo spots between like Hangman and the Elite and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know what was said, so if I'm saying something wrong, I apologize.
Romero said,
Oh, Hangman Page joined the Elite. I am
"Oh,
so
gotcha."
sorry.
Romero was saying that Osprey versus Pac for the Intercontinental title at All In. So okay, so Osprey is defending it against MJF tomorrow. Okay.
That's a bunch of mess. I'm sorry. I hate it when they include 7 different people in all of their stuff and confuses everything and be like, okay, they're facing these people, and then if they win this, they'll get this, and then if they win that, they'll get this. And I'm like, that's so confusing. Can you just have a clear shot sometimes?
Yeah.
It makes it really hard to keep everything in order. Okay, so there is no doubt about this. Absolutely none.
Love it. Love it.
We had Britt Baker make her triumphant return at Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
And face down Mercedes Monet. And I'm happy to see Britt Baker back. Apparently, she had some herniated discs and she had a stroke as well. So that is why she has not been on television or at work at all or anything. So happy for Britt Baker in that she is back and she's doing well. Um, and this is a hot story for her to start off in her first time back.
I agree. This is a money match. I mean, you know, for her first, for her first feud back with Mercedes Monet, who's been absolutely, doing things for herself and being that the conversation, as she says, you got Britt Baker was literally the first female signed to AEW, and obviously she's going to feel some type of way about it because it's like, okay, you're not going to come in here and act like you run the place. You're forgetting about DMD,
Wait. if my mouse will work.
If your
We
mouse will
gotta
work.
Yeah, we gotta do it right.
I think it's going to be a great match, though. Both women are great technical wrestlers at best. They do some high flying stuff too. I really think they're going to. I really think this is going to be a nice surprise at All In.
Yes, and this is perfect. Mercedes Monet is walking in and acting like she owns the women's division because she's a big star and all of this. And Britt Baker is like, now wait a minute. I'm the OG face of the women's division. You're not just going to rip that away thinking you can get away with it. So I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
I love the whole story behind it. Let's see.
Um, o- Oops, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna go to a couple of comments right quick. Heyman Page's on Team Elite. 3 names left for Team AEW. Hopefully, Darby will be in it. Either FTR, who made the return to on Collision, or the Acclaimed. Yeah, that could very well be too. Um,
We're not going to mention this too much, but during the Owen Hart finals this past Wednesday night, Willow Nightingale versus Mariah May, and Chris Statlander and Stokely Holloway interfered in that match, costing Willow Nightingale the match. So we're continuing with Willow versus Statlander. I don't know if it'll be on All In or if they're going to wait until All Out, but either way, another feud in the women's division that they're actually having story to. That has been one of the complaints or one of the criticisms that Alora and I have been, vocalizing for the past few years, that the women's storylines, the women's division just didn't have a whole lot of depth as far as, well, in talent, they had depth, but as far as time, storylines, and matches, there just wasn't a whole lot of depth there. But now we have 3 huge women's matches stories going on, and I would go as far to say that Tony Storm and Mariah May has been the biggest story on AEW television for months.
yes.
And I'm going to say, everybody, that I told you so. I knew what was happening. I kept saying it over and over and over again that Mariah May was going to eventually turn on Tony Storm, like All About Eve, and my goodness, did it happen. That was a fantastic way to close that show on Wednesday. Was that visual of Mariah May holding up a bloodied face, Tony Storm, with her, just holding her up like that. And this is great.
Everybody's talking about All About Eve now, and it's like Marie said this like a few months ago. Y'all are late. Y'all are late to the show.
I know, for real. This is why y'all should like, share, and subscribe Peaches and Power Bombs, because we tell y'all what they're doing months ahead of time before everybody else catches up. So where's my accolades? Sometimes years, that is for sure. This is a good point. A dream match that we never thought we'd see. Mercedes Monet versus Britt Baker. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be amazing. I wanted to bring this up because I wanted yeah, I'm glad that Britt Baker was able to overcome the stroke as well. Now, sorry to hear about your mom. My dad suffered a stroke too, and he eventually passed away from an aneurysm 3 years ago. So I understand completely. So I feel for you.
I was expecting Mariah's May to turn on Tony Storm, but the ending reminds me of Mickie James and Trish Stratus. I don't know much about that. I
wonder what
TV then.
I wonder what Mina Shirakawa, or whatever her name is, feels about that. How she feels about them not being friends anymore. Not she my cat, Mina. It.
Yes.
Yeah. Talking about the wrestler Mina. Yeah, the wrestler Mina. Not my cat. Not our mascot.
Well, Tony Storm didn't watch out for the shoe.
They say, chin up, tits out, and watch for the shoe. Oh, come on!
Because after everything, Mariah May attacked her with that shoe. And that was just iconic.
Speaking of Mina, she just came in and said, "You called me?" I'm sure
All
y'all
right.
can hear her.
All right, guys. I think that is going to be it for the night. That's a lot of stuff happening in wrestling. And we promise not to make it so long before we show up again. Things just kind of blew up, and life happens. And we appreciate you guys joining us tonight and being loyal and not taking it personally and still joining us when we come on. And we have a whole lot of stuff coming up in the next few weeks. So make sure that you all stay tuned in for that. Ray All Day and myself will be here tomorrow afternoon to preview AEW Dynamite. And it's going to be a fun one. So make sure that y'all watch that. Alora, is there anything else you would like to add before we say goodnight?
Nope. I think Mina just wants to say bye before she shows her butt one last time. Say bye.
Bye, Mina. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night and stay peachy.
Good night, sweet peach. It's time to go. Good night.